Hello, Tony Rasmussen, and ladies and gentlemen, let's flash back. Let's flash back to the late 90s, early 2000s. Back when Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 2 were up against each other. Note, this was pre-GameCube. But still, let's take a look back. And think about it. Okay, you had the PlayStation 2, you had the GameCube. Why am I talking about these? Because for a certain period of time, Jakks Pacific has been making games built for your TV. And they still are making them. But I'm talking about their big boom, which came in the early 2000s. So, I'm going to be looking at the TV games plug and play. And I'm sorry I'm not going to show any game footage because half of these games don't work. But I just wanted to take you back to that moment when you realize you've really scraped the bottom of the barrel. Now, think about it. If you had grandparents that hated you, and you told them to bring you a video game for Christmas, what would they buy you? Would it be something like this? Or this? Or this? Or this? I mean, my God. There were like millions of these things back then. And there still are millions of them now. But I want to talk about some in particular here. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to bring up some of the various ones that I want to talk about. So, let's get started. And this is my only favorite one. Namco. And technically I really don't own this one. I'm actually borrowing it. But still. That was awesome. This is awesome. And I mean, come on, this is actually a pretty good one, because I actually got the good games. This has the good games. It has Pac-Man, it has Dig Dug, it has racing. Okay, so I got through the good ones. Other good ones would have to be Atari games that they imported. I'm sorry, just wrap my mind around this. Was really everyone just thinking, okay, we have Sony, we have Nintendo, and we had Sega. We need like a fourth game company? And Jakks Pacific just made the shitty ass games? So, on that topic, let's bring up one of the most famous cartoon characters that has the most plug-and-play video games of all time. SpongeBob SquarePants. This is actually the first edition of it. And I can tell that because this came out in 2003. And this is mine, and it's very, very old. Because look, you hear that squeaking. But this is what's unique about them. Notice how all the games that I'm going to show you all have either one or two buttons. The ones that have two buttons are rare games that have two buttons. Frogger has two buttons, but also has a joystick. I don't know why. Avatar, joystick, two buttons. But Avatar has a clear reason why. Jump and fire. Now many of you are probably thinking right now, oh, he's just rambling on about video games. Well, the reason I'm rambling on about these games is because these were technically the games I also grew up with, along with the GameCube, along with the 64, along with the PlayStation. I grew up with these games. And it shocks me to believe that they still have them. I mean, seriously. And what are they licensing nowadays? They've licensed WALL-E, Toy Story. They still have their license deal with Atari, because they keep coming out with new plug-and-plays. And speaking of the Atari plug-and-plays, you know what I want them to put in there? Just once? As sort of a screw you to all the Atari players? Put in E.T. by the Atari. Put in E.T. for one of the plug-and-plays and see how many people will get pissed off. I really want to see you try that, Jack Specific. I mean, come on. I know, it's starting to sound like a rant as well. But, I mean, seriously, why the hell would you make it? Okay, another question. Why the hell couldn't you just develop the games, try to get the licensing deals, try to get the rights from the game companies to make them as cartridges or discs, and just put them anywhere? Hell, you could have put them on the PlayStation, the GameCube, the 64, the PlayStation 2. Anyone would have taken them. It wouldn't have sold well, but still, it would have just made a lot of money. And again, like I said, they're still making them. They are still making these games. Avatar I find unique though, because it has 2 buttons. But it's not the only one. Spider-Man has it. And many other games have it. Mortal Kombat has like 5 buttons just for its attacks. And 1 joystick just to move around. Frogger does have the 2 buttons, but those are also the moving buttons, as well as this. Why would you need that? Why would you need 2 buttons to move when you can easily take the joystick and go boop, 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 and be over? What were they thinking? As a message out there to Jack Specific, stop making these games. They were popular in the early 2000s, I understand. But by today, we have the Wii, we have the PS3, we have the 360. We have the internet, for Christ's sake. Stop making these. This is the most recent one I've gotten.